This is a primetime local news update.
The Saskatchewan government announced they have 8 new cases of COVID-19 in the province, bringing the total to 184. 9 cases are the result of a local transmission, while the rest are travel-related or cluster-related due to exposure at mass gatherings. They are also reporting that 21 people have recovered from the virus. The Alberta government announced yesterday they now have 8 deaths in the province due to COVID-19. A man in his 30s passed away from the virus and was said to have underlying health issues. Quebec officials announced earlier today they have 6 new deaths, bringing the total to 31 deaths in the province due to the virus. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the federal government is spending $2 billion to procure more diagnostic testing, ventilators, and personal equipment for frontline workers in the COVID-19 fight. He says the government has ordered millions of supplies in anticipation of a surge of patients at Canadian hospitals. We will be providing the latest updates from our city and both provinces on our Facebook page. That's it for today's Daily News Update.
Daily update Tuesday, March 31, 2020 regarding COVID-19 in the city of Lloydminster. First, a couple of questions from Primetime Local News. In the mayor's video message to residents on Friday, March 27, he stressed the need to only flush approved items down toilets. Has this been an issue, and what items are approved?
So at this time it hasn't been an issue, but by educating and reminding residents, we're getting ahead of any potential issues that may come. Products such as Kleenexes, fabrics, paper towels are not suitable alternatives to toilet paper and should be disposed of as per the city's organics protocol. Flushing these unapproved items will result in clogs in your home plumbing system as well as potentially in the city infrastructure. For residents wanting to learn more about the disposal of flushable items, we encourage them to visit the Lloydminster website and /GreaseBeast.
And question 2, the government of Alberta last week announced a new funding opportunity for social service organizations. How can organizations in Lloydminster apply?
Yes, so the government of Alberta did announce a new one-time funding opportunity for social service organizations. In that $30 million will be available to municipalities, charitable and nonprofit organizations to help vulnerable residents who are impacted by actions to contain the COVID-19 outbreak. Organizations located in Lloydminster, both on Alberta and Saskatchewan, are eligible for this funding opportunity. However, there is a guideline and criteria as outlined by the provincial government. Interested parties are encouraged to visit lloydminster.ca/grants for details and the application process.
And next we have one question from 1061 The Goat. Has there been a problem with people using playground equipment in the city since the access was suspended last week?
No, we are not aware of any issues with people playing and using the playground equipment that was taken off. Education plays a huge role in the prevention of community transmission of COVID-19. And since the city and both of our school boards suspended access to our playground equipment on March 25th, we have not received any complaints or non-compliance issues. And I just want to thank everyone in our community for doing their part to participate in social distancing and help flatten the curve.
I'm joined today with Heather Reed, a registered dietitian. Heather, thank you for taking the time and joining me today.
Of course.
And now these are obviously some strange times that we are living in. So what are some things people can look at for their immunity when it does come to their nutrition?
So it's really about keeping that balanced diet. No one certain supplement, no one certain food item is going to prevent you from catching COVID-19 or any other influenza at this time. There's a lot on social media about this particular supplement or this particular diet. It doesn't really work like that. It's all about having your immunity as strong as it can be. We do know there are certain people that do have decreased immunities, such as the elderly or people with other chronic diseases. And it's really about maximizing your immunity at where it's at.
And you mentioned there that it's not really one supplement fits all. So is it really just about having that balanced diet right now?
Yeah, there's vitamin D is one supplement that is recommended at this time. So 1,000 international units of vitamin D. And you do want that to be coming from a soft gel or a liquid supplement, just because vitamin D requires fat to be absorbed. In the summer months, we don't have to worry about vitamin D as much as long as you're getting outside. But right now, we're not getting outside as much, and then the sun's not at the right angle. There's a bit of research showing that vitamin C supplementation can help decrease the duration, not the incidence. So really, it's coming from just your balanced diet. And that's not meaning that every meal has to be perfect. It's a balanced diet about 80% of the time.
And speaking on that balanced diet, is there anything that people can take with them as they are heading out to the grocery store, buying those foods, some tips, maybe some strategies so that they are picking those proper foods to get that good nutrition?
Yeah, so there's been no research so far that's showing that COVID's being spread on fruits, fresh vegetables. And it's interesting, you go into the stores right now and there's still a lot of fruits and vegetables there, the fresh variety. Canned items, frozen items are still great sources. The brighter the fruit, the brighter the vegetable, the more nutrients it will have in it. And that's where you're going to be getting it. So, for instance, vitamin C, very important. 75 milligrams is what you're looking for per day. Half a cup of bell peppers gives you 140 milligrams. So that's almost double what you need for your recommended daily allowance.
And obviously, people are picking up those foods at the grocery store. They do have all those ingredients available. But as you can see between us right now, even that people are working from home, kids are home from school. So is there anything people can do to maybe stop and stay out of those cupboards and eating those snack foods there throughout the day?
Yeah, so what I recommend people to do is to pack your lunch still. So pack what your kids, pack what yourself are going to get for the day and really try to keep it to that amount. So my kids are still getting their lunch packed for them. And then those are the snacks that they get for the day. Because it is easy to be able to say, whoa, I'm at home. I'm going to have a bit of everything. And that's not what we want to be doing. So you want to have your set out snacks because it's not a free-for-all, even though it's really easy to get in that mentality of, well, I'm at home, the snack food's there, especially working in the kitchen, being by those items. You don't have that freedom to do that.
Now, another thing you do have going on right now is a webinar that you're currently working on, giving some people some more nutritional tips during these times. So tell me a little bit about the webinar itself and how people can get involved with that when it is up.
Yeah, so we are doing a Do Your Part webinar series. The psychologist, myself, our chef, and then we have a couple on just finding balance, stress management. So if you go to Revive Wellness Inc.'s Facebook page, so it's this Revive Wellness Inc., you can register there, and there's a bunch of different webinars that are getting put out for free. And we just want to have people really getting the coping strategies, more information in regards to nutrition. The chef goes into meal planning and actually a live cooking demonstration about having some fun and taking the strategies that they can to manage during these times, because it is a stressful time and stress actually decreases our immunity system. So we're trying to provide people with those coping strategies so we can all get through this together.
All right, looking forward to seeing that out there. And thank you for taking the time with me today and sharing some of these strategies and helping people learn a little bit more about their nutrition at times like these.
Of course. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to contact me and I will help get people through this as much as I can as well.
I guess with the numbers in New York and what they are you a little bit worried at all, or does it raise some concerns for you right now?
Of course. I mean, I think anyone would be concerned. We are healthy and young, so my concern is more about potentially affecting others. So that's really part of our reason for quarantining ourselves. I think it's just important for everybody to stay informed. Obviously, things are changing on a daily basis and new information's coming out. So I think it's just important to stay educated about what everyone can do to, prevent affecting others, keeping their distance, staying inside as much as they can when they do go out to, grocery shop or run essential errands, to just be mindful about their interactions and what they're touching. You don't realize how much contact you have just going about your daily life. So I think just being conscious about it is how you can combat some of that fear of the unknown.
So what currently is the hospital situation in New York right now? I know in Canada it's also fairly severe. What's it like down in New York right now?
It's severe. I have a lot of friends right now that are working on the front lines as nurses, doctors, therapists, and it's all hands on deck. I know that medical students have been called in to work right now because they just don't have enough people. The equipment is at an all-time low. They're reusing masks and gloves. The situation is quite dire. So, what we can do, our part, is to stay inside so that we can try to flatten that curve and release some of that pressure on the hospitals, because they're quite desperate.
And lastly, you're from London, Ontario. Have you had a chance to chat with your family about how they're doing? Because it's, there's a lot of cases in Ontario. So have you had a chance to speak to them and how they're doing?
I have. I think everybody's in the same boat, as I said. They're doing their best to self-isolate as well and be as safe as they can. Obviously, the situation's escalated a lot more in New York, but it's not to say that it can't happen elsewhere in Canada as well. So I think it's important that everybody's just being aware of what's happening around the world and learning from other countries and the situations that are unfolding elsewhere so that they can try to combat it in their areas. So my parents and my brother, they're all just trying to keep their distance from everyone, and while still trying to maintain some, normal daily activities as well.
Well, Mariko, I really appreciate your insight from somewhere from down south there. Really appreciate your time chatting with me today. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Today I'm joined here with Jennifer McEwen over Skype, and frequent gym goers, of course, are feeling a bit of the blues as gyms across Canada, probably across the world, are closed due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. Jennifer, you're a frequent gym goer yourself, frequent working out and staying fit. What have you been doing now that the gyms have been closed to kind of stay fit during this quarantine?
Well, it's a great time to be creative, I guess, Abby. You really have to kind of tap into those original roots of body weight exercises and alternative ways to do cardio, and sometimes just the nitty gritty. Get out of the whole reliant on equipment only and start focusing more on, okay, I've got a kitchen table, I've got a kitchen chair, I've got a couch I could lift, I've got stairs, I've got 3 sets of stairs. Let's run those stairs. Let's lift up and into the couch. Let's sweep under there while you're lifting that couch, let's do some creative things at home and not be so bogged down by the fact that we don't have a physical gym. You still need to be accountable. This is still a goal for your life. It's your lifestyle, right? So in my case specifically, because I'm a personal trainer and because I have clients online and clients that were going to do competitions and now they can't, and you still have to look at it in terms of this is your lifestyle or your lifestyle choice. So it's almost easier now. You're not going to go out and get takeout. You have time. You're at home. Cook your food, right? Cook your whole food. Stop eating the processed food. Get your eggs locally sourced. Make sure you're buying the organic vegetables, things like that to keep you moving, and then just get creative with your at-home workouts.
Now, being stuck at home, it can almost put people in kind of like this rut because they don't have the fresh air of being outdoors, and they don't have, you know, like you said, the gym equipment. So what can they do to kind of like motivate themselves to want to do those creative different exercises at home, considering that they can't go to a gym with gym equipment?
For sure. So one of the biggest tips I think would be setting up somebody to be accountable to. A friend, a family member, a coach if you want, someone online who, you know, maybe you've met through Facebook or Instagram, or you could set up a little group. You could empower yourself and say, okay, look, I'm at home. I'm not a personal trainer, but I want to move my butt. I want to get off this couch. I want to get in a better mood. You can just create a group. There's so many now that have at-home workouts and diets and all these tips that you can find online. Find something that interests you, even just a little bit, and just do it. Just say to yourself, you know what, enough is enough. Let's get a new routine. Look at this as a fresh start instead of, oh man, I'm stuck at home. Like, you're safe. You're literally in the place that you want to live, and you're able to reach out and connect like we are right now with Skype. You can research anything you want. You can come up with your own creative way. You can go back to school right now for a hugely reduced price. Like, the possibilities are endless. So the only thing in your way right now is yourself. So get out of your own way, get focused on something that's positive. Maybe start journaling if you haven't journaled before. Maybe start having, I don't know, bubble baths or something that makes you feel like, you know, you're rewarded. And then open your blinds. Like, as you can see, I've got my sunshine coming in. I don't have my lights on in here. Like, it's a bright day. Get some, you know, light in here. You can still go outside and go for walks if you're with your family group. Just keep that social distance with the other people, not only to protect yourself, but to protect them too. Go outside, get some fresh air, and, you know, stop making excuses. You don't need to. You literally have nothing but time right now. So just make the most of it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for kind of coming back on here and being like that motivational expert, like I said. So thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me.
Thanks for having me, Abby. I have a group on Instagram. It's Etch Athletics. Feel free to check it out. Give me a follow. I've got home workouts on there. We can do this, guys. We're all in this together. Take care.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Abby.
Joining me today is head coach of the women's basketball team at Lakeland College, Chris King. Chris, thanks for taking this time. And I mean, you've had some time now to digest how the season ended, but really just take me through it and sort of the heartbreak that you guys experienced.
Yeah, I don't think you can even describe the feeling of winning an ACAC championship and coming home so excited. The first one in Lakeland history for men or women's basketball. And then getting ready to go to nationals and then finding out from our AD that the season's done, there's no nationals. You don't have a last game, you don't have a last practice. It's just an ending note. So it was a very weird feeling, and we felt like we left something on the table.
Now for you guys, you know, obviously had a great chance at winning the entire Canadian championship. You finished first in the ACAC North in scoring. You had multiple All-Stars on your team. Just talk about, I guess, you know, really being that close. It was really a matter of inches almost.
Yeah, provincials kind of showed the depth of our team. We knew we had an extremely deep team. We battled injuries, just like everyone all year. Going into nationals, we're ranked the 2 seed at nationals. We really loved our matchup in our pool. I thought we had a good chance of getting to the national final. You never know how things are going to go. But the way that we're playing, our point guard, Tori Dugan, was probably the best guard in the league. She was playing extremely high level. Brianne Hergott, our 5th year, Jaden Cook, all of our all-stars. And then we have so many role players that can step up and score 6-8 points. I think that was the difference, because in the ACAC, we have to go through Olds College and beat the defending national champ, which was kind of a feather in our cap because no one's really been able to take them down. So it's disappointing, but I know we're playing at a high level.
You touched on it, but I'm just going to bring it up again. Obviously, you know, you beat Olds College, you beat Keanu for that championship. What was that like, especially that 2-game run there?
Yeah, you know, as a coaching staff, we were pretty confident in the kids. They were playing well. I think coming into the game, the girls executed their game plan well. And when we kept it low scoring early on, I think the girls realized, like, the game was playing in our favor. And they did a good job staying composed. I think one of the advantages of playing in the ACAC North is we had so many tight games all year. I think it showed. Olds cracked a little bit under the pressure, and we just kept staying with our game plan. So the girls were very good there. And then in the final against Keano, very weird. You're playing a team for the 5th time in a season. So you know each other very well. We happened to be better that day, but we had split throughout the year. So they're an extremely good team. They went through a tough route to get there as well. And it would have been nice to see both of us at nationals.
Now, for you guys, only one graduating player in Brianna Hergott. So I guess the rebuild it's not really a rebuild. You guys are really right there again for next year. What's this offseason going to be like from a scouting perspective?
Yeah, so we've added 3 players for next season already. We're looking at a couple more. Losing Bree is going to hurt us up front, but we're pretty confident in the development we've seen of freshman Ellie Leafers throughout the year that hopefully she can step into a bigger role. If you look at our program right now, last year we were bronze, this year we're gold. We're in a 4-year window where all of our kids are upperclassmen. So next year we'll have 3 5th years, 3 4th years. We're fairly confident that we should have a shot. You never know how things are going to go, but we should have a shot these next couple of years to make it to nationals and hopefully win a couple more banners for Lakeland.
Well, Chris, I appreciate you taking this time, and best of luck with the rest of your off season.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.